Okay, I'm gonna do another transformation video of this Fans Toys Outrider, aka Trailbreaker. This time from vehicle back to robot, where it's gonna stay. And I'm just gonna share some of my thoughts and comments as I'm going over them, and hopefully I show a good transformation process that makes it easy to transform and just points out some issues with it. But just to be clear, the criticism I'm making, it's not because I'm hating on it. I'm just trying to point out the facts based on my understanding coming from product design and so on. So I just want to also have that on here, just so when I look at this for reference, I'm just aware of all the issues with it, and to be careful, because that's the last thing I want, is to break this toy. So with that said, let's start off with transformation. First thing, you want to bring the legs down and out. So you're going to have to untab the legs from inside the chest. And easy way is probably just to pull this, so you just kind of bend it a little bit. Don't be too aggressive, because it only goes so far. And that will untab it, which I'll show you later, but then you got to extend the legs. So now it needs to be extended one last time. And I think I pointed out how I don't like how using a large pin in here for this area. But what I was showing you is you're untabbing it from here and here, and you're pulling the legs out. Now from here, I think I'll do the legs, so I can get the legs transformed first. So I'll split the legs, and then let's see. Trying to see where it. Oh well, you can't see it because the tire's in the way. But yeah, you can see it opens up right here. So let's do one leg at a time. You open it up, and then you're going to have to extend the legs, which is on a double hinge, so you accordion it up, and then you can tab the wheel in, which now it's easier to untab because I had to shave that top tab off. You can hear it's still a little tight, but it's not where it got stuck, which is not good. Now you need to open up, well, before that, open up this panel. There are two other panels here which you have to extend, and the bottom one you can't extend all the way unless you bend this at an angle, and then you can put it flush. And that's all because of another tab issue right there. You don't really need that. I suppose I could just shave that off so I don't have to do this bend to adjust these panels here, but I'll just leave it. Then put the tire in, close it, extend the foot, pull out the bar that goes to the front of the foot for stability. And then the last part of the leg, which is, it's very nice how they gave you a little hinge here, so you can open that up, where you have to put the part of the car back into the leg. So let's just do the same thing on the other side. Open it up. This pull out the panels, the bottom side. You have to remember, you have to go at an angle before you can put it flush. Okay, and then you put this tire in, which, well, accordion this leg back out on the double hinge, and then you can put the tire in, which this one also I had to shave off so it you can still hear and see how it still has some tightness there, but you know, at least it can get it out. And then close this back up, and then the foot, extend the foot, pull out this foot extender for support, and then there you go. There you have the legs. Oops. I always keep forgetting steps here, but yeah, obviously you got to open this up, put this in, and then now the legs are done. Now on to the little bit more challenging part. So basically you're going to have to untab all these panels, fold them up so they compact back into his back piece. And let's see, so to start, kind of untab like the door on both sides, and then up here you want to separate the back from the midsection of the car, so that you just kind of pull up. So now you got it situated like this. And then I arranged the arms like this so I can bend it. So just so you can see how it is, so I can have easy access in here. And now you gotta pull the arms out. Well, you don't have to, I mean, you can tab, but that's just the step I do is the arms. So on this swivel right here, you can see I'm just gonna pull the arms out, both sides. I'm gonna make sure I extend it all the way, which it is a little tight because of, you know, the screws. Fan toys, a lot of areas that are tight, it's because the screws, they squeeze it so tight. And just pointing out, you want to loosen that screw, which helps to loosen this area, because this one right now, see that? It doesn't move. Yeah, actually, you know what? I think I will just do that now on camera, on video. As best as I can. Wow, you gotta make sure you get the right Phillips screw too. So I'm making sure I'm pushing in really hard. And now let's see if this is now gonna start to budge. Yeah, you see that? It starts to budge, but the same issues on other areas on here, you can hear it. Hear this? And that's, if you look very carefully, it's because they made this such a tight fit. That's why you're getting all this friction and tension, which is prone to causing stress and breakage. It's just simply because, you know, they don't have to make this so perfect where you don't see any lines, these parting lines, because that's why these parting lines are there, to prevent this kind of stuff from happening. See, even after loosening it, it's still very tight. Now even trying to get it all flush, it's very tight. So that's just what I'm starting to notice now with Fans Toys. Probably the other figures, if I actually look at it, why they're so tight. Not just because of the screws, but also because these parts, they try to make it like, they make it such a perfect fit where it makes it hard to move, and it causes stress when you manipulate it, making it prone to breakage. But anyways, back to the arms. Now that I fixed that, you got to make sure the tab part's sticking out, because that's where the head tabs into. Okay, now I'll just leave the arms like that and do the arms later, but I gotta get the arms out of the way, so I'm just now gonna pull out the arms, bring it down so you know it's situated close to robot mode. That's just so I have more room here, because now I'm gonna have to lift up this bag, but before I do, I have to get this bottom bumper here out. So the way I did that is push the bottom out, and then I have to extend it out. And this is another area that you can just hear all this. That's not good. That's not this Fans Toy squeak. Give the definition of what this Fans Toy squeak is. That's just because it's too tight, because it's a tight fit, which causes a lot of tension and friction, and the danger is it becomes prone to breakage, especially after the plastic starts to harden. So this is really not good. If anything, if they wanted to, they could have used a little die cast for this piece. That probably would have been a better choice, but this is the way it is. Now that you get this out of the way, now you could lift the top, and you can't lift it all the way because this head right there is in the way. So first thing, lift this up, keep it up like that, and then you're gonna have to well, now you can get the head out before you get this shoulder cannon off. But to get this head off, you need to move this area, and this is another area where it's just too tight. They just made it they didn't make it a little smaller so you can move it very easily. And now when I do this, I point out you got to press from this side, not up here. Okay, see if you hear that sound, that's not very good. So now that allows you to get this head to come up, and then you can kind of swivel this shoulder cannon inward a little bit so you can get it out. And that's just because this shoulder cannon, the length is just a little bit too long, because it's when you line it up here, it's hitting on this back part. Which easy solution is they could have just made it a tiny bit shorter. Then you could have just easily go in and out instead of having to turn at this angle. But that's how this is also. Now, let's see. Well, before that, let's now we can fold these panels in. Like this, and then it just gets situated just like that. And then now it's then you could bring this down. See, And you can bring it down, and now, well, no, don't bring it down. Keep it up. This is how you can get the head past this area. So make sure this is all parallel. It lines up with the front of the car and the back of the car. Because when you do that, now you have enough space. You can see where this, you can now slowly start to close this down this way, and that gives you the clearance you need to get the head past this other shoulder piece. Now that after you do that, just trying to tab this in, which is hard because, you know, right here it's having trouble moving because, you know, it's just too tight. But so I'm fighting against this tension right here. But what I'm trying to do is trying to get this down, which is hard because I'm fighting against this area here. Okay, but the other thing I forgot was you want to get this part straightened out too. So once you bring this out, you got to also get this flush. Now it should be a little bit easier to tab the top down. Okay, now that that's done, now you can, what is it, bring this down. You can see because the arm's in the way, so it kind of came down here. Now fix this head, and this is where, this is another issue. But first let me get this head, just bring the back part down. I'm fighting against these tight areas. Now I'm going to point out, because someone was saying it and I don't think they recognize it, but the reason why this head keeps popping off is very simply because this bar that this head is on, I'm trying to see where you can see it, this bar is just a tiny bit too short. And that's why it causes this tension where once you tab it in, even no matter how hard you push, it's gonna pop up when you manipulate it. See, popped up. And that's because, like I said, it's because this bar is a little bit too short, just a tiny bit. And if you understand how that works, that's because in order to see it, so when you push it down normally with no tension, it's not going to fit. The only way it fits is you're going to have to push, squeeze, so you're stretching this plastic, causing tension. Once you get it to tab in, I'm having trouble seeing as I'm recording. No, I can't, it's hard to do this when I'm recording. But, let's see, so you see, in order for, see, it just, first of all, that's proving my point, it just doesn't go down. You actually, yeah, you have to do all this pressing and pushing to really compensate for the short length of that bar. And once you do, you're causing more tension on the head. So now you trapped all this tension right here. And then with one little swivel, the head and stuff, it's just gonna See, easily pop up. And I'm repeating it because I'm trying to make it very clear. That's happening because that bar is too short. And it's too short because you can see when you bring it down, it doesn't tab in. You have to squeeze and put all this pressure just to get it to tab in. Well, what do you think is happening when you're squeezing and pressing? You're building up all this tension. So hopefully that makes it very clear. That's why it's like that. And unfortunately, there's no other way to fix this other than really just pressing everything as tight as you can together, and just even pushing the head down as hard as you can is not gonna really fix it because that tension is still there. But anyways, that's that. And then now you can start adjusting all of this. The back bumper of the car. You can't see. Goes to the back like that. And now you can turn the tires in, which doesn't really lock in, so you just have to make sure you get it as straight as you can. Because for it to be flush, the back to be flush here, it does need to be straight as you can get it. And now you can close this back. Make sure this front of the car is going into the front window is going into the front of the car. And then this part, you gotta attach the back to the front. You gotta just tab it in. And yeah, I forgot. That's why it's not going in, because you gotta make sure these shoulders are not in the way. So you gotta make sure that these shoulders are all the way out. That allows you to go in now. And I can see it's a little crooked, those tires. Now, there it is. All you do is push it in. So if you don't have this shoulder all the way out, you don't have those tires straight, you're gonna be fighting to close this back to the front. But hopefully that shows all that. Now you can adjust these arms. And let me just see if I can adjust my camera to go up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Okay, now gotta get all this straightened out, which isn't too hard. Just there are two joints on the shoulder. You can see where it swivels here, but then there's another shoulder joint area that's on here that turns also. So basically you want to close it, but then if you can see it's not lined up. But I want to point this out. You want to make sure you get this side window out. So how to, easy way to do that is just to kind of lift up this window. That brings it out, and then close it. And then while I have it up here, now you can kind of straighten out this top part like that. Then you could bring it down. Just the arm. So you do the same thing. This side, lift the window up. So you could bring the side view mirror up. And then on this one swivel, turn it in. But then on the top swivel, you're gonna have to turn it so that this part can go in flush. So that's important to note that there are two swivels here. One, it's this metal bar, and the other is on the other side, like right there where this top piece is. So there's two parts to this. Make sure that these windows are, side mirrors are out. Okay, almost done. Now the last easy part is just the arms. This side's easy. I mean, it's cool how they give you a little groove there. So you could stick your thumb in, pull it out, turn it, and then adjust the hands and fingers to your preference. Have them pointing a finger if you want. Let's do that. Let's just for fun. Let's just have him pointing a finger. Just for fun, let's do that. Having it pointing a finger. And then this side is gonna, I mean, it's nice they give you that little groove. And I think I already mentioned before that this, again, everything, Fans Toys, they just make everything so tight. I mean, I think they're so paranoid about things being loose that they went the other extreme and made everything so tight, causing other problems. But trying to pull this out was too hard. I know TM Reviews said about sticking something in there to push this out, which is kind of hard to do because this is in the way. You might actually break it. But when you do eventually get it out, I strongly recommend you try to shave some of the plastic with all this friction so it becomes looser. And I pointed out already, but I'm pointing out again. You can see those two little tabs. I'm pretty sure that was there to help make it so you have something to grab onto to pull it out, which it's not going to work if it's really tight. So that's why you have to loosen this up, which I did, and just close that up, and then that's it. Here is Fans Toys Outrider, aka Trailbreaker, back in robot mode where he is going to stay. I didn't, that's why he's, because I didn't get this lined up very well. Just gotta make sure you get this straight because I had it crooked. Now he stands much better. So everything you have to be careful is you get everything all properly lined up before you start moving on to the next parts. But let's see. So yeah, the hand. It's cool. You can start now. Now you can start playing and having fun with this thing, which is really cool. I don't know. See, that head popped up. So again, I'm gonna have to squeeze here to try to make up for the short bar distance, and just to get it to tab in, which after you get it tabbed in, now it's holding all this tension. So again, just to be clear, if this was made properly where this bar was just a tiny bit longer, all you should have to do is just put it down and it tabs in. But it doesn't. You're going to have to pull this out, which you can't do. So you have to push from the back, causing tension to build up, push it in hard to fasten it, to fight the tension. So that's really the main issue with this. Well, there's a lot of small issues with this, like the tight areas all over the place, but that's like a significant issue, especially when you want to display it and stuff. The head pops up. But Fortunately, they make the tab, and you know where it's so tight where once you get it in, it's so tight it's holding, helping to fight with that friction. But that's it. So now he will stay in this robot mode, which really looks nice. I mean, this looks really cool, and I know that the official Takata Tomy version is going to be better engineered, and I am looking forward to getting that. But for now, this is my transformation video of Fans Toys Outrider, aka Trailbreaker, and having trouble fighting with my camera phone. That's why I don't do videos, because I don't have a good video recording setup here. Just trying to do everything with my phone. So I'm trying to get it to stabilize here, which I can't, so I'm just gonna have to leave it this way. Putting him next to Optimus and the no brand KO Optimus with the shorter backpack, and he will go with the Transform Element Mirage and the KO MP Hound, and that will be a nice set. So that's it.